Hello designers, this is Rebecca and this is your assignment 3 signage critique. I'll go over the specs and then we'll get into your submissions. So for this assignment, you were to develop a signage design for your business to build strong brand connections. There were two parts of this process. Number one was the main entrance sign. You were to design one exterior sign, include your logo. There were no specific dimensions. And then part two was the interior and exterior signage. That was four or more signs, and they could be informational, educational, and or directional. For the scope, you were to use colors and fonts in your branding. You were to create these signs in Illustrator and or InDesign, and then export them as a PDF for me. The illustrations are optional, but must be original work that you drew yourself. Photos are optional and may be found or original photos that you shot yourself, and you can edit those in Photoshop. You had to use Victorian inspired fonts, and they can't have any typos. All right, let's get into it. All right, first up we have Octavia's Oddities. This is from Hester. This looks great. It's really good. So I don't quite see the natural layout here as far as the ratios go, because welcome to and spectacles for all is very tiny compared to the logo here. So I do think there's a lot more room that you can add those, or I'm sorry, that you can increase these and make it bigger. But I like the scale of the logo in there, as well as the lights around it, and this interesting shape is super fun. So yeah, I think that just increasing the welcome to and spectacles for all would be great. Excellent. I was just thinking too, maybe if it needed some more contrast, but I think it's all right. Um, I think if you were to add more contrast, you might consider making this green color even darker, and that will help make the yellow stand out some more, but it's up to you if you'd like to make that change. Sorry, my thing jumped. Okay, so here is one of your signs. This looks good. Your kerning for this ligature is a bit tight. I'm not sure if you're able to select that and separate them a bit, but it does kind of mess with the word itself. You could also break up the ligature and turn it off, but um, it does need to have a bit of space in there. I wonder if you might even be able to just select the E and shrink just the E a bit. But I love these diamonds, and it's a good shape, and the colors look fantastic. And it is a fantastic font. This looks good. Really good. I wonder if you could add a drop shadow like you have on your letters to this hand. Um, but I think the hand is really appropriate for the period, and I feel like this is a bit tight, all of this tracking here. So I think you should separate them a bit. I don't know if it's because the drop shadow was added and the letters just got a little, optically closer together, but I think you could spread those out just a hair. Let me go back. Like, see how much room you have between these? That looks nice, and it's a little bit easier to read. All right, then we've got this ticket sign is really fun with the curved text. The diamonds look great. I love the unique shape. Yeah, I think it's great. I would also, if you could, I think what you can do, if you can't break these up, like manually select the E as live text, then what I recommend doing is making this all outlined text and then ungrouping it and then selecting the E on its own and just moving it over a bit. You might need to move the scale down. It will affect your stroke, so you might need to turn on the scaling the stroke, or I'm sorry, turn off the scale and the stroke option if you were to do that. Okay, great. And then, oh, this is super fun. I love this. Oh, I love it. That's great. That looks really good. What a fun idea. I love it. Perfect. This is a great mock-up. Good job. I know it's not easy to find images for these signs, so that's good. I do think the sign could be a little higher. I'm sure that there's something going on behind there to make you kind of hide it, but as it is, it looks like people will have to duck to get underneath that. So I'm not sure if you could add a little something uh, to prop it up higher or something, but I don't know. That's up to you if you want to change it. Not required. This is funny. Um, this is a hilarious mock-up. Is this looks like it's in the snow, right? Am I, yeah. Is it in the sand? I think it's in the snow. I was just trying to see if like maybe it was just my eyes playing a trick on me. If that was like some desert that has really light sand. Um, but yeah, okay, that's a mock-up. And then we've got the showroom here. That's a great sign. That's fun. Okay, sorry. Okay, there we go. For this sign, I think maybe shrinking it just a bit so that it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the wood, so that you have a bit of margin, of the wood kind of framing the sign might be a little bit better there. And then this looks fantastic, very, very cute. I love it. It's in a spooky place, you know what I mean? But that's okay. That might be part of the show. And this is really fun too. Great, great, looks good. All right, thanks so much. All right, next up is Edel, and this is your signage for Mad Apple. All right, so this is the main entrance sign, and we do have the natural layout. Yeah, that's great. Looks good. Really fun. So we have this fun starburst, and we've got these little lights surrounding it. I think it looks great. Excellent. Good job on the natural layout there. Great work. Oh, this is even more fun. Great job making it three-dimensional. Really cute. This looks good. I'm just squinting my eyes here to check out this tracking. There are a few tracking issues. We've got a little more space between this R and E than we have between these letters here. These are all good, space between these, but the R and the E need to come together closer, and there needs to be a little more space between the two O's, but everything else looks good. So yeah, just nudge the OMS over to the right a little bit, and then nudge it all over to the left a little bit to the R there. Great. Oh, this is fun. And that all looks really good. Good job. I'm not sure what this sign is for. I'm not sure what this sign is for. Maybe it's a little mock-up you made. It's cute. Okay. All right, this looks good. Let me just check it out for a second. Okay. All right. So I think that we've got a lot of space up here. It's better to have a little more negative space at the bottom than equal for signage, than equal space on the top and bottom. So I think you can nudge this all up a bit and have the Cirque du Soleil Mad Apple a line top with the word cocktails. All right. And then I think non-alcoholic should be the same font as cocktails is and should also have a top alignment. So they're all on the same top, like cap heights line, basically. They all align like that. And this is all good. These three look great like this. I think that these lists over here could use a little more line spacing between them. We don't need quite so much of a gap between these two sections, but we do need a little more line space between each of the items themselves. It will just help with making it legible, a little more legible. Okay, great. All right. All right, great job. Thanks so much, Edel. All right, next up is Emma with the Mystic Bazaar. Cool. This looks really nice. I see some good natural layout here. I think it's really nice. Let me just zoom out for a second. Okay, so it might be perfectly on the ratios that for the natural layout, but I do think that bumping welcome to the up just a little bit and bumping main entrance down just a little bit to give Mystic Bazaar just a little bit more padding around it might make it a little easier to read. Right now, it does feel a bit cramped, um, but I think that the tracking looks really nice. The fonts look great. Colors are fantastic. There's lots of nice contrast between the fonts and the background color, so that's really good. So yeah, I think we just need a little more line spacing between the three rows of text, okay? Really great though. I love the little flowers. All right, purchase tickets here. Yeah, this looks really good. So the only thing I see here is just a bit of kerning things, and they're just very slight. It looks like if you squint your eyes and look at purchase, looks like there's a little extra space between the R and the C. So if you could tighten that up just a tad. Um, the rest of the word looks very good. And then with tickets, we just need a little more space between the K and the E. So we'll need to nudge these three letters to the right a bit and then recenter the whole word. But here looks perfect. I love these little tiny, decorations there. Let me just go back to the first one. I love the dots on the ends of these leaves. I'm not sure if you tried them here and if it was too much, but I do think it's really cute. So if you wanted to add those there, I don't think it would be too much, but it's up to you. And 25 cents looks good. So I love the shape of these signs too. They're looking really nice and really clean. This looks fantastic. All the kerning is perfect. Looks good. So the only thing might be, I want you to make sure that your lines are the same length. I think they are, but I don't think these two dots are lined up. I think this dot is a little over to the left more. Maybe it's just playing tricks on me, but on my eyes. So just check out the alignment of those dots with each other with the top row of decorations and the bottom row so that they're lined up perfectly. Okay, looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. I don't see anything here that needs to be adjusted. It looks perfect. Good work. Really good. The information hierarchy is fantastic on all of these. Yeah, these are really fun. Great. Excellent. Oh, great. That looks great. Very cool. Really good. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Really good. I like this guy looking at the signs. That's great. Great work. Thanks so much, Emma. All right, next up is Eduardo. Let's check it out for Madame Nirvana. This looks cool. Ooh, everything's so golden. It looks nice. Really good. Really good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I don't really see anything that needs to be adjusted. Maybe I would bump Madame Nirvana just and the word theater all down just a bit to give a little more space between Sacred Hearts and the word theater because you do have a wider gap here than you have here. So I think that you could kind of grab these four rows of objects and just nudge them all down a little bit to give Sacred Hearts a little more room, and then that'll be good to go. But everything else looks great. Excellent. Good amount of flourishment. It's like the perfect balance there. This is so rad. I love it very much. Really nice. Perfect. Good work there. This is cool. Really pretty. Okay, just reading everything here. It looks really nice. I like this. You're on which level is really nice. Yeah, the line spacing, everything looks fantastic. The gold effect, when it has a line through it like these, it does make it a little bit hard to read, but I know that that's just, the gradient there. But I just wanted to give you a heads up, like it is kind of messing with my eye a bit. And over here for the magic shop, I just want you to double check It looks like shop is just rotated to the right a little bit. So if you grab a guideline, like you turn on your rulers and you pull the guide, horizontal guide down, you want these stars to align together. And then you might even grab a second line and pull it down and make sure that the top highest part of the S lines up with the highest part of the P. And if they don't, then you just got to rotate it a bit counterclockwise to get them to fit, you know. And you could do the same with magic, but magic is looking pretty good. I don't know, that's rotated a little too much clockwise. So just double check those. Um, and yeah, it could be that these wings are a little lower than the wings on the left, and it's making an optical illusion that the letters are off. So something's not quite centered. So just, check what that is and fix it there. Okay. And these are fantastic. I love these. Really cool. Great. Looks good. I love the arrows and the cupids. Everything's fantastic. Great work. Yay. Good looking mock up. Yes, that looks cool. I love that. Looks good. Looks great. Great work. So this mock-up, it looks like the exit is on the outside of the building, so you may need to find a mock-up that is more interior, just for a better mock-up for your portfolio. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. All right. Next up is Larky, and here is your Owen Circus. Let me just zoom out here. Great. Okay. So this is the main entrance sign with the updated logo. I love the seal breaking the frame. It's really good. Looks good. Good, good, good. And I see the natural layout there. The flourishes on the sign are really nice, and I like that the sign frame is unique. Looks good. Great. That looks good. So with this mock-up, I do, well, I guess that it doesn't say like main entrance or anything. I was going to say maybe put your sign down here above the door, but since it doesn't say main entrance, it looks good up there. It's good. Okay. This looks great. I like that subtle drop shadow. It's kind of the color of the seal. It looks really nice. Yeah, all of the kerning looks good. Good work. Really good. I'm just squinting and checking out your kerning, and I'm good with it. I wonder if nudging this line down just a little bit so you have the same amount of space between the enjoy and that line with making the space the same between show and the bottom line. Just see if you like it or not. It's not mandatory by any means. Great. Great. Okay. Cool. Wow, neat. All right. That's great. I love it. Maybe consider, I don't know, I was going to say changing enjoy the show to this grayish color, but it might not be enough contrast to read it, so never mind. You could make it that blue color and then give it a red drop shadow. You could play with that if you wanted. Not mandatory. The legibility on here is nice and easy to read as is, so that looks good. I just like to play with color as much as possible. And that looks really nice. Really good. Very polite. I love it. Looks good. All right, so I was going to say, is this on the outside of the building? It looks like you're going in there, but maybe you're going from the inside of one tent to like another room or something. So never mind. Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Larky. Next up is Abriana. Great. All right. So this is the Chris Angel sign. All right. So I don't quite see the um, natural natural layout equation here. I'm sorry, the ratio. And I do think that Chris Angel should be the biggest part of the sign as opposed to Magic and Illusions, or Mind Freak Show needs to be the biggest part, like one or the other. But I think his name is he's the draw. Um, so I do think some things need to be rearranged. I recommend having like Mind Freak or Chris Angel Mind Freak in this bigger part, and then have Magic and Illusions in the bottom part, but keeping main entrance up here. I think that's fine to keep that up there. And then you can keep your little flourishes as well. And I think also change these darker flourishes to the lighter one because the contrast looks nice. But I like the light bulbs and stuff, and I like that this is a really unique sign shape. All right, this looks fantastic. Really nice. That looks good. It looks really cool with the black stroke on that rich blue. That looks nice. I usually don't like a black stroke, so great work. You brought me on over to the black stroke side. And these are some really fun mock-ups. These look good. I think my favorites would be this one here and this one. I like the ones that the canvas is just trimmed, you know, just the right size of your dimensions. The ones with the extra space aren't quite as strong, you know what I mean? Like these ones. So since you only need one, I would pick, you know, these two and get rid of the other ones. If you do want to keep the other ones, then I recommend shrinking the sign, you know, your graphic so that there is some padding all the way around all four sides that of the sign design. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out here. All right, great. That's good. I think there's some centering is off somewhere. I'm just looking. Is this between here a little wider than this here? I think it might be because I'm not sure if Wi-Fi, I think Wi-Fi also might be a little bit to the left. So just double check these, center them up, and then make sure this guy's centered because I don't think it's centered either. I think that might be a little to the left. And this is also a little to the left. So just center it all up and it'll be perfect. And it looks nice with the white stroke. Great, great. All right, cool. So I think like this one might be a good one for that. Let me just go back and look at this real fast. Go ahead and delete your three W's in the first period here. So it's just caesarspalace.com/Wi-Fi. It doesn't need to be, we don't need to include the three W's in our URLs. You could add a QR code if you wanted to. That might be a nice touch. And then this is fun. Good, good. I love these. These are great. Great. Oh, examples of signs. I think we're kind of pushing our margins here. You know, I would like you to have some more space there. So maybe you could break up please silence and drop all devices to the line below it because you do have a good amount of vertical negative space there. So you could even make please silence all devices just a tiny bit bigger if you needed to, or you could just make all devices bigger or silence, you know, something like that. If it looks right, it's totally, you got to play with it a little bit to see it. And then also not centered. So just see how big this is, much smaller of a space than this is over here. So just select all that stuff and hit that center to the page or center to the artboard option so that you get it nice and snap to the middle there. Okay, great. All right. So this one, I think this one is a really good sign for this. But notice how your dimensions for this are much wider. So you actually have a lot of room to play if this is the mock-up that you like to use. These ones are very large, and I just don't see that kind of informational sign being that big. But this one is about the right scale. So if that's the case, then you know you can make please silence all devices larger without having to break the line, keeping it all in the same line there because you've got a lot more width to play with. Okay, great. Okay, good. Let me just look at the mock-up real fast. Oh, great. These are good. Okay, cool. So with this one, okay, um, we have a bunch of space up here, but less space down here. And on signage, it actually looks better when we have less space at the top and a little more negative space at the bottom, or if it's, pretty centered up. So go ahead and nudge everything up a bit. Make sure that it's all centered. And because right now this is closer to the left side as this is to the right. This drop shadow is a bit too much. I would pull that back a little bit. If you did the thing where you duplicated the letters and put it behind there, and just nudge them over to the right a bit to make this appearance of the lighter drop shadow a little less. Because what it's doing is it's really mushing these letters together and making it a bit harder to read, okay? But everything else looks really good. These are great fonts that you chose. I think this is a fantastic sign for this. That's a good mock-up right there. And once again, you do have a lot of more space on the side to play with. So feel free to, change the dimensions of this sign here and just make your artboard wider so that you can play with that negative space on the sides if you need to. Okay, great. Thanks so much. All right. Next up is Ardian. This is so cool. This is a really neat shape. I love this giant Learn Your Fate. It looks so pretty. Very Victorian. This pattern in the background is so cool. God, the logo turned out great. This is awesome. Really awesome. I love the L and the F breaking the frame. This like white little highlight that you have running through the letters is very cool. All of the embellishments look fantastic. I love it so much. Okay, so my only things would be I don't like this touching this part right here. So I don't know if you want to extend the height of your curve in your sign, because that's one option, or if you just want to grab everything and nudge it all down a little bit, and leave don't grab the background, but just grab the logo and Learn Your Fate and nudge them all down just a hair so that you have a little space separating these two. But that's all, everything else is just gorgeous. Love it. Cool. This looks great. Great job making this 3D. Awesome. Looks really good. Very nice. Ooh, this is cool. Pretty. What a fun shape. I love it. I love the embellishments. I love this gradient in the background. Ooh, with that beautiful pattern. This is like just so rich and gorgeous. I love it. That looks awesome. Really nice. Great job. Okay. Wow, this is cool. Really nice directional sign. Hold on. I do have to tell you something. This hand only has 4 fingers. So, do what you gotta do to bring in another finger. And then everything else looks really cool though. Perfect. Once again, I love these letters. Just, dipping out of the frame, and that font is so cool. This W, oh my God, it's way cool. Really nice. Really good. I like this variation in these strokes. Looks really nice. And this little hatching for your shot, for your shadow, it looks really good. Really beautiful. That looks great too. Woo. Great mock-up. This is amazing. Beautiful work. Really good. I'm just looking at all the kerning, and it all looks really great. So that's nice. Yep, everything looks fantastic. The gradient looks nice here too in the background, and these embellishments are really cool. Beautiful. Whoa. Okay, so let's give you a different, get a different mock-up where this is like on a door, or it could also be on like a banner up, or some sort of a sandwich board that's like in the middle of a hallway to get people to not go past that. But it being on a wall, it just doesn't quite make sense. Okay, that's a nice mock-up. You could use that for something else. Great, this looks good. Pretty. Great illustrations, really nice. I love the little sparkles in this, in the little, yeah, crystal ball, and uh, yeah, looks fantastic. Ooh, and a lighted sign, that's nice. Oops, sorry. Yeah, that looks cool. Beautiful. I love these sign shapes. Great job, Ardian. I love it. Thank you. Next up is Gwyneth. Great job, Gwyneth. This is a really fun sign shape, and the embellishments look great. I love the Western font. I'm glad you landed on that because I think it looks really good. I love it. And your little lady looks really nice. Nice. Okay, and then we have this really subtle little white line coming through. Feel free to like sprinkle more white in here. You could even make her a little more white, like bring up her contrast a bit so that the darks are a little darker and the lights are a little lighter, to really bring a little more attention to her because she's super cute. The only thing I see, there's just a few little strange things that happen to your stroke. Notice right here, it got a little sliced off, and down here something's going on. But it looks good over on this side. So I don't know if you could copy that and stick it over there if you need to, but I think you might be able to just grab some anchor points and straighten them out. Make them do what you want them to do. Good job there. Great. Okay. That looks really cute. I love the little people with the hats on. Fantastic. Excellent. Looks good, looks good. I'm wondering, is this a different color than these? I don't think it is, but it looks lighter. It might just be because it's smaller text there. Yeah, I think that might be it. Okay. All right, so what I want you to do instead of having the arrow in the middle of the sign is move these people over to this side and have restrooms be in the center, and then this direction with the arrow over here, be at the end of the sign. We always want our arrows to be at the end of the sign pointing in the direction where we want them to go, okay? Nothing else in the way, because then it looks like the sign is pointing to these people, and it's not quite what we want um, to be happening, okay? Perfect. I love it. Very nice. Very cute. This looks great. Really cute. All right. So I don't recommend the typewriter font here. I think you could just use the same font that's up here. I think that'll look best because typewriter font isn't going to be on a sign that's that scale. We would use a typewriter for a smaller application. When you think of a typewriter, you don't really get like bigger fonts from it. So just to make it a little more authentic. This works. This looks good to me here. It does look like your logo is a different color than the browns being used. I think that's fine. Never mind. Okay, I think that's cool. And then I just need to see the mock-ups. So I don't see any mock-ups on these, so be sure to get some mock-ups for your final presentation, okay? Thank you. All right, next up is All-You-Mide. Great. Okay, so this is our main entrance sign, and we used all of these little musical embellishments, which is pretty fun. Let me see I was going to see the mock-up, but I'll guess maybe that's at the end. Okay. All right, so we sort of have the natural layout formula. I think that it might be a little more obvious of the natural layout formula if these three lines of text were closer together, if they had less line spacing between them. I'm going to return to this. I'm just going to see the rest of your signage real fast. Oh, this is cute, using this as like an arrow. That's great. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, good, good. Okay, all right, great. Okay, excellent. Let me go back to the beginning. So I think what I would like to see is, I think that the lines are just a bit too distracting in with the text in it. You know what I mean? So if you could maybe lower the opacity or make the lines even a lighter color of this purple or something, uh, so that there's more contrast with a circus of sound and an audio experience. I think that will make it easier to read those two lines of text. You can leave these, I think they're treble clefs, I'm not sure. Leave those at full black opacity as well as the text, but just the 5 bars on each part are just making it a bit hard to read, okay? Then, yeah, I think that's it. And I think the phantom horn, to fix that line spacing thing that I first mentioned, just make the phantom horn larger, the logo itself. Make it a little bigger in this space. The other thing is centering your lines of text. It looks like they're not quite centered, so just double check that they are all centered up with the logo, okay? Now this one, so same thing, whatever you do to that one on the home, this one with those background lines, do that here. And I think that's cute, okay? Check out your spacing of this text versus this spacing here. Just make it consistent that they're all laying on the lines the same way. It looks like this is a little bit higher on the lines than the ones on the first sign. I think you could also, no, that's fine. Okay. All right. So notice how we have a lot of negative space here, but this one we don't have as much. So I would say make it the same for all the signs, whatever negative space you decide on. Okay. And good. And then this one also, we've got a bunch of negative space. The word restroom is tiny. And then these little people are shorter than your text. I think they can be the same height as your text. And then you have all of your lines are extending to the edge of your text on these other ones, or beyond. So do that however far you have it extending past the text on one sign, do the same for all of them, okay? All right, and then this one, just tighten up that space. You may need to make these smaller, to make it consistent. But I think it's really cute, and then you'll just update your signs. But it's really clever, and yeah, I love it. I think it's working. All right, thank you. All right, next up we have Raylyn. Excellent. This looks so good. I really love the scale of everything. The info hierarchy on here is perfect. The logo looks fantastic. Yeah, it just looks really, really good. I love all these little stars and the wand. Great. All right, let's keep going. All right. So this looks like it's just a bit too tiny for a main entrance sign. When we think of a main entrance sign, we think of something really huge that's like at least 5 feet wide. But I know that it's not easy to find mock-ups for this signage. So let's just keep going and see what else you got. Awesome. This is fun. Cute. Okay. So this is a pretty long list of shows, and I don't think you put lists. I don't think you, I'm trying to remember if on your advertising, if you listed that there's a show every hour. But since if you didn't do that, and since the whole thing is up to you, maybe consider knocking out every other hour to make this a shorter list, just so that you just don't have this big long list on here. Or you can start the show a little later, like 2 to 8 instead or something, as long as it matches your other signage. I'm sorry, your advertising. Um, and then maybe consider, I was going to say putting located in Enigma Hall below the wand, but I'm not quite sure that it might work better the way it is now when you shorten that list a bit. I just feel like there's not quite a grid going on here. I think maybe that's what I'm having some trouble with. So maybe consider setting up a little grid, some guidelines, and then just rearranging things a little bit more because we've got show times is wider than your logo, right? We see that. We've got some stars up here, and then we have this list here that is it's a block of text. If we look at this in terms of like shapes, right? This is whoop, hold on. Okay. This is essentially like a black rectangle. And then we've got this little red rectangle over here that's expanding out beyond the logo and beyond the title, which is show times. But it's not aligning with the top of the black rectangle. It's just doing its own thing over here. Then we have some centered text that, oh, and the should not be capitalized, just so you know. So now we're centering these two together while these two are centered with each other up here. And then this is all centered with itself. So I think you have like 3 chunks of centered text that's not centered with each other, and they're just not quite falling into a grid either. And so that just all needs to be tidied up a bit, okay? And then watch your margins with these embellishments too. So, while you're checking all that out, okay? Great. So be sure to update this is a really good mock-up for this sign. So that works. All right. Oh, this is fun. Great. I would recommend, I think, instead of putting the arrows after the words, because right now the shape that they are, it's not completely obvious that they're arrows. Maybe placing them before on the left side, before the words, might make it a little easier. So just play with that and see if that is an option. And then you would just nudge all your text over to the right a bit. Okay. Great. Okay. And usually we don't have any arrows pointing. Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind. I'm fine. All right. Great. So let me zoom out just a tad. I'm just going to look at this kerning for a second. So I'd like you to please move the T through the M over to the left side a bit to close up this gap between the A and the T. And you may need to tighten up the B and the A just a tad. Just check it out once you get in there. And then I do recommend nudging the O and the M to the right just a hair to have a little bit more space between the two O's. Okay? Then just select it all again and recenter it. There's just a little bit of kerning goofiness going on there, and it's that font. You're not the only one having trouble with this font. It's giving everybody a hard time. So, but the stars and the embellishments look great, and it's all nice and legible. And this one looks good too, and the tracking looks much better on this one. It's really where the A's are that the A's and the O's are what is not doing the best. So, yeah, I think that looks great. All right, and then we just need some mock-ups. Oh, never mind. I didn't require mock-ups for those parts there. So, okay. So if you can find a different mock-up for your front entrance sign where you can make this pretty sign much larger, I do recommend trying to find that. Okay, thanks so much. All right, next up is Caitlin. Woo, let me zoom out just a tad there. Okay, great. So here's our main entrance sign, and we've got our logo nice and big. Cool, okay. And then we have a really fun sign shape with lights. So I'm having a hard time with the lack of contrast for the word circus and the main entrance part there. Um, the color of these two rows of text on this red background, it's a bit hard, and it's going to be really hard for someone who is colorblind. So I do recommend maybe just turning those to white. Um, and then if you wanted to, you could keep the drop shadow or make the drop shadow those green colors or something, just kind of, um, basically inverting it. Or you could make the top layer the white, the second layer the green, and the bottom layer the black. It's up to you, but they're just a little too hard to read on the red background, okay? And then I do recommend grabbing all of this text and embellishment and nudging it up a bit because you have some space, and this is a bit tight right here for how much space you have up here, okay? But other than that, I love the shape. I think it's great and it looks really nice. And this is fantastic. So if you make changes to the sign, make sure you just update your mock-up. All right, and then we have this Soul Sister Astrology reading sign. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. Oh, that's cute. Very cute. All right, and I zoom back in. That's cute. I like the border. That looks really nice. Awesome fonts, great embellishments. That looks cute. Okay. Oh, cute. That's fun. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to see it all before I start talking again. All right. So this one, I don't feel like the colors are going with the rest of your branding, but I'm just not sure. I guess that green might be in there. And I definitely see the red, but I don't see that yellow. This is more of a buttery yellow, and this is more of a sunny yellow, you know? Um, I also think that it would look better if you stacked astrological readings instead of having it be side by side, because you have a good amount of horizontal space. I'm sorry, vertical space here, and then you could make that text a little bit bigger. Um, but I do like little diamonds on the side, so just double check your colors so that make sure it's in color, the yellow in the palette, and then, um, like I said, I do recommend stacking these, centering it, and then making it a little larger if you can. Then this one looks perfect. I love it as is. I'm good to go on that. I'm not good to go on this mock-up because usually this kind of sign is on a door or maybe on a sandwich board in the middle of a hallway, like kind of blocking people from going beyond that in the hallway, and not usually on a wall because you can't go past a wall like this, right? So, yeah, I think getting a mock-up of a door would be better for that sign. This is really fun. Let me just look at one thing. So this font looks good the way it is, the only crew beyond this point. But here I feel like it's stretched. That font got condensed widthwise or was stretched vertically. It starts to get a little bit harder to read when it's stretched out like that. Same with watch above. See how it's wide here? So we never want to distort these fonts in this way. Like typing on a path or warping it to follow a sort of path is okay, but stretching and condensing it just makes it because it's so intricate, it makes it a bit hard to read. So I'd like you to fix those two rows of fonts there, or rows of type, and I think that'll just be the only thing it needs. I like the hand and I like the embellishment. And then just make sure everything's aligned center. I don't think this hand is lined up in the middle. I don't think any of it's lined up in the middle. Looks like it's all a bit shifted to the right. So check on that. But it's a great mock-up. And then this one is also all three of these lines of text are stretched. So if you could please fix that as well, that would be great. I don't think you need the word the in there either. So you can keep it, but it's up to you. It's not necessary, okay? But I think these look good, and that's a fun sign. So once you un um, undistort the text, just update your mock-ups, okay? Great mock-ups. Great job. Thanks so much, Caitlin. All right, next up is Albert. Excellent. This looks cool. This embossed is really nice. The new logo looks fantastic. Great job. I love it. Really fun shape. Love the texture. It's looking good. Let me just zoom out just a bit so we can see the whole thing. Okay, that looks nice. Great. Cool text. Cool font. Not stoked on the mock-up, but we'll come back to this. All right. That's nice. Very polite of you to thank them. Okay. Gift shop. That works. I like that. Cute. That looks good. Yeah, looks great. Okay, cool. So these two mock-ups I love. Um, this one is okay for this as like when people are on their way out. So I think that works. This one, I think you can find a better mock-up for tickets available here. Not so much of a vinyl banner, you know what I mean? More of a more permanent looking sign would be better, okay? Um, but this looks great. And yeah, these ones, the main entrance sign is the hardest one to find a mock-up for. So I understand if you don't have, one like that, but these ones are great. They're going to look good in your portfolio. Great work, Albert. Yay, good job. Thank you. Next up is Kayla. All right, main entrance sign. Good looking natural layout. This looks great. Yep, I'm into it. Everything looks great. I'm just looking all around and it's perfect. Great. Looks good. Nice and easy to read. Yeah, nice mock-up. Good. Great. I'm going to zoom out just a bit. There we go. Yeah, that looks really good. I love these. Fantastic. Perfect. Love them. Oh, I love it. Good mock-up. Yep. Great. This looks really nice too. hmm So I just want you to check. Oh, this looks fantastic. I love all the embellishments. It's so good. Okay, so these little dotted lines here they're misbehaving. So drawstring bag and the item and the cost, they all appear to be on the same baseline, but my eyes are kind of playing a trick on me because the dotted line is not in the same spot vertically or horizontally on any of the lines. So um, what I recommend is maybe having them all aligned to the baseline, just so you know that they're doing the right thing, or you can align center the dotted line with the first line of text and then make the first, I'm sorry, hold on, align center the dotted line with the item, align center vertically, then select the item, make it your key item, and then align the dollars if they're on a separate row of text. Like if you typed them in a separate text box, uh, make them align bottom with your object as the key item. I hope that made sense. I hope you understand what I'm saying, but Then just notice like the space between here and here is different than the space between here and here, which is different than the space here and different than the space here. And then notice that the space to the money is also all different on all four lines. And just get those guys to cooperate with you and all be the same there. So then it won't the rows of text won't be playing tricks on our eyes because it won't be like here, then up, then over, then here, then down a little bit and up and over, that kind of thing. Great. All right, so that works. That totally works as a mock-up. That's great. And this is fun. I love it. Great. It looks good. That turned out great. Good job. All right, so with this one, with the section, I don't think that this wide tracking is working very well for you here. So I would make it the same tracking as you have on this signage, just for continuity and for quick readability, because people are trying to hurry to their seats. So don't make them do any work with their eyes, if that makes any sense. So just, yeah, tighten up your tracking. It doesn't have to match this main sign here like that. It's already matching with the fonts and the color palette. Okay, great. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that works. I was going to say maybe give yourself a little bit more margin on the side of this here, but I think it's fine. You don't have to worry about redoing that. And this looks really good. I do like the rope going all the way around on this sign, I have to say. That's funny. All right. That works. I love it. Great job. Excellent. Thanks so much, Kayla. Thank you. I love it. All right, next up is Yardley. Ooh, this looks pretty. It looks really great. I love it. I love the color balance. I like the interesting shape of the sign. The logo looks fantastic. The contrast is gorgeous on the, this orangey color on the dark blue background. It looks fantastic. Really nice. Really good. I love it. I'm just looking at all the kerning real fast to make sure everything looks good. Yeah, I'm okay with it. The L and the C here are a bit close, but I don't think they're too close. It looks consistent with everything else, so I'm fine with it. It looks good. Good job. Wow, that looks amazing. Nice mock-up. Way to go. Perfect. Love it. I love that there's almost like a spotlight on it. It looks really cool. This looks good. Great. Oh, that's neat. That looks great. Cool, cool. I love it. This is looking good. That looks neat. Oh my God, I love it. That's so cool. It's a window sign. It looks fantastic. Yeah, that looks good too. Yep, that works. That's really fun. I love the hands. Great. Oh my gosh. Wonderful work. The only thing I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind flipping her to face him. I think that might be really cute if they were facing each other. That's the only thing. I love everything about it though. The drawing is very cute. Great job, Yardley. Woo! I love it. Way to go. Great looking mock-ups too. Oops, sorry. Thank you. All right. Next up is Ingrid. All right. So this is looking like a poster. Let me just see what the rest of everything looks like. Okay. Women's panel. Okay. Cute. All right. I like that. Food court. Yes. That's cute. Photo booth. Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can bring that up bigger. Acrobat. Behave yourself. I'm trying to zoom in on here. It's being weird for me. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to come back up to this first one here. Okay, so we really need a main entrance sign. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me see if I can zoom in on that. Do. Okay, so this is your mock-up for the main entrance sign, but this is more of an advertisement. This is really like a billboard. Um, so what we would really want is more of a main entrance, like enter here kind of thing, um, with a doorway or some sort of an entrance like underneath it, okay? So we wouldn't really have like all these graphics and stuff, and you would want to say main entrance on it or enter here, something along those lines. And I really want you to use that natural layout formula, okay? Just to just give it a shot so you know how to do it, okay? But this one works really nicely for, this is a really cool idea um, to advertise the women's panel. Uh, Maybe even have it be a directional sign or informational that says like what time it starts or what room it's in, kind of thing, as opposed to just a general panel is happening at some point. You know what I mean? Then their food court sign looks good. I think, I don't know if you can. I was going to say if you could make this the same red or make it obviously different, like, but I don't think you're using any other colors in your branding. So maybe not, this isn't the right time to do that. So if you could make it more red as opposed to super pink, or if you wanted to use a photo like you did with this one here, you could do that and that would be, more consistent. But I think that's a good scale and just nice and simple. I think it's really cute. All right, so this is nice. That works. Yep, I like that sign. And then this one, there feels like a lot of kind of awkward negative space here. Um, so I recommend like maybe you have some cute stuff going on with these other images in there. You know what I mean? And including on this one right here. So maybe consider having photo booths be on the same line, photo booth, and then having a photo of two people below it, like, maybe from a film or maybe a strip, the four photos that you get from the photo booth, if you can find something like that, or a little Victorian couple or something, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Or no, have a camera there, have an old Victorian camera. That would be easy to find an illustration of a big old, like, 8 by 10 camera or something fun. All right. But the mock-up is good for that too. So most of the mock-ups are really good. Just the first one, I think you need to do something different and you need to make a new main entrance sign. Okay? Great. Thank you so much. All right. And last up is Zena. This looks amazing. This is really nice. Really good. I love in Victorian signage when they have the last letter also as large as the first letter. I think that looks really cool. So that's a really nice way to balance that sign out. The color balance is all really beautiful. And I love this green stroke inside there. The sign shape is way cool. And all of the little flowers and embellishments, like leaves and stuff, looks so good. Really beautiful work. Oh, great job there. That looks so cute. Nice job in beveling the edges and stuff. That looks so good. Really great work. Nice. Yeah, this looks good too. Really pretty. Really great. This looks fantastic too. It's such an elegant way to tell people not to bring food or drinks inside. It looks really nice. Yeah, good work. Oops, sorry, I went the wrong way. Cute. That works. Good looking mock-ups. All right, very cute. Hold on. Do we have a drop shadow in there? Okay, you do have a drop shadow in here. You have a bit of one in there too. Okay, it's just this one's a little bit more noticeable, maybe because of the green. These people are so cute. It looks good. This looks fantastic too. I think this one could use a little something else, maybe some more green in there or some of the pink, because all the other signs are so colorful. This one might just get overlooked. Yeah, I think it could use some green to tie it in, to this one, but um, it's really cute. It's nice that it's sort of like a secondary sign, in case they needed to move the signage or something. That's a good idea. This looks great. Great job. Great mock-ups. Good work. Beautiful work. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. I know this is a pretty hard assignment, and I'm blown away with everybody's work. I'm so happy. Clap, 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 clap. I can't wait to see what you come up with next.